Welcome back, viewers. Today what we'll be dealing with is some causes of infertility in cows. Now, one of the main contributing factor happens to be poor feeding, especially a diet short in protein. This is probably the single biggest cause of temporary infertility in cows. And even if there is plenty of grass, there can still be temporary infertility if the protein content in the grass is considered low. Now there's another problem with mineral deficiencies, particularly calcium and phosphorus. During the 1977 to 1978, those years, when minerals were available, what we found is that at the Ibini location, the calving percentage was somewhere between 74 and 77%. But then in the early 80s, the calving percentage dropped to 33% as a result of these deficiencies. Mineral salts and mineralics, they were subsequently added and actually remedied that situation at that point in time. Now, another key area is pool breeding management. It is quite common for us to use one bull to 40 cows, but there are some Brahman bulls that are limited based on their libido level, and so we must consider that factor when we're about to place these animals for the purpose of breeding, because you would realize their libido level is much lower, so you bring them down to a ratio of 1 to 20, 1 to 25. That is more workable. Now if we're using the AI program, we can still have the need to use a bull as a backup for the AI program should problems arise, such as shortage of nitrogen. Our greatest challenge is us being able to improve the calving efficiency and hence reduce the problems encountered in the field regularly. I think what is critical here is actually the failure to observe estrus, which can occur as a result of an inexperienced worker or ranch hand, or the cow exhibiting signs of an estrus, or what we call silent heat, that is ovulating without showing external signs. And what is critical is knowing when to observe for estrus so that we can look for the next cycle 18 days later. When AI is used, there is a common problem with poor insemination techniques. For instance, the inseminator may lift a group of straw from the liquid nitrogen tank and let them thaw. He may not utilize all of them, but as a result of thawing, some actually dies. A common fault is to put the semen in the wrong place. For instance, the top of the pipette may not get through the cervix and the semen is deposited in the vagina. Or it might be that the inseminator inseminates too early when the cow first shows signs of estrus. Another critical thing that actually worries many farms is how the animal deal with temporary stress. One critical stress factor is heat stress. How do the animals handle heat stress, and what provisions are there in place to assist the animals in reducing the level of heat stress? Are there shaded areas? Are there any shaded trees? A place to hide from the imminent heat? These are things we need to actually think of and make preparations for in order to reduce the animal's level of stress. And another thing that can cause temporary stress is heavy tick infestation, because this can cause temporary infertility because of anemia. And then there are other specific reproductive diseases such as brucellosis, fibrosis, trichomoniasis, among others. And then another area is the case of meatritis, where there is an inflammation of the reproductive tract. Now, another area that can cause some difficulty is where the organs are damaged. Some organs, primarily the uterus and cervix, these damages occur during calving. Sometimes there is a situation where the calf is too big, or sometimes even days after, when there is a case of retained placenta, and the technician or the person who is actually dealing with the animals with the retained placenta try to remove the caruncles or the buttons from around the area, and they can actually cause damage to the uterus or the cervical plug area, and this too can be, as a result, contribute to infertility. So these are things we need to know and need to be cognizant of. Thank you very much for viewing. Like and subscribe to see more.